Hello there everybody and welcome to another episode of Crowncast, and we have our big snost leader here today and his name is John Rambo.
Mark, you're
yes.
here?
Yes.
Mark, I just woke up and I get out of bed and I hear Mark's voice. What's going on right now? Where are you, Mark? Are you in the walls?
We're not even using Skype.
Skype is not even on, the computer's
No.
off. It's not even in this room. I just hear Mark. Where are you, man? In the ceiling somewhere, I don't know.
That would be so creepy.
That's what happens to me. This happens to me every morning, by the way. I want everyone to know that.
You have my voice as your
Just imagine, as soon as you open your eyes, fucking bloody amazing. Imagine
you have that
That's
as
like,
alarm clock.
oh, you should. You got to market that, man. You got to get that out there.
Yeah. I'm gonna sell.
You gotta sell it.
Yeah.
Sell
You
it.
want your own alarm tone with Mark screaming fucking bloody amazing.
75.95.
Yeah.
Just send money to Sweden.
Yeah.
Don't even write a name on the envelope. Just write Sweden and put it in the mailbox. And Mark will get it somehow.
I don't think so. I think the state would be like, ooh, money to us. Give us.
Oh yeah, of course. They do that sometimes when you do have the address.
Yeah.
Things get lost.
Yeah. So, how have you been doing? Like, I haven't had you on for a couple weeks, so
Couple weeks.
yes.
Doing okay. I mean, I'm getting used to. I got a lot of extra stuff going on now. I got a new job, and as always, I'm working on the Schnozman Hole Punch stuff.
Yes.
Pretty much late at night, early in the morning, so I only sleep a very few hours a day.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. So
Yeah.
things are going well, Mark. That's what I want to say.
How far in is the process for the?
Episode 8, which is the next one's probably about, I'd say 85% done.
Okay.
There's a couple little things I want to add. So it's a matter of like organizing people and showing up when they're available.
Yeah.
And then I got to go through I basically put together the scenes that I watched them 1,000 times and I decide, does this need music or some extra sound effects here and there. So
Yeah.
we'll get getting there, and then we'll see what happens after that one. you know?
Yeah. Nice. So how many? Which episode is the arc gonna end?
Well, I don't want to spoil things, but if you watch the next one, it could be the end of it.
Okay.
There could be one after that.
Okay.
You have to watch and find out.
Yeah. I just remembered. I think you said sometime that we're gonna have like a sort of arc ending some.
It's
points there.
it's absolutely a story arc.
Yeah.
The first arc kind of ended with episode 5, and then began with 6, and now we're in the middle of it right now. So
Okay. Nice.
yes.
Yeah. So, how have you been hearing? What are your opinions on this news about Ben Affleck being Batman?
Oh, crazy stuff, man! Just people losing their minds.
Yeah.
I know there's like a
A kid-
petition out there and
Yeah.
all that, and there's people going crazy.
It's weird because I mean, did you hear about in what was it, Louisiana? 8-year-old kid shoots his grandmother, and they blame
What?
GTA.
Oh wow! What
Not
kind of
that
things
the
going on there, Mark?
not that the gun is openly just out there in the room.
It seems like that happens more and more often. I don't know how exactly. And then there's the stories like a 3-year-old
Yeah.
finds the gun. I mean,
Yeah.
you put the gun somewhere. Kids aren't very tall. You could just
Yeah.
some type of shelf.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be able to get to it.
Yeah, lock it. Easy.
That'd be ideal, but I'm not even saying go that
Yeah.
far. Maybe that's
Yeah.
too extreme to lock it up.
Yeah.
Let's just put it on a shelf.
Yes.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll build to the locking up part.
Yeah. But
Over time.
I will point that out that I mean, so many people get going crazy over something like Affleck becoming Batman. think that's kind of
Yeah, I mean
weird, isn't it?
it's odd to me because I mean the way I look at it, I think a lot of people look at the movies as like the biggest thing, the most important thing for Batman, I guess.
Yeah,
And there's people I see out there that are like, oh, Batman is dead to me now. Well, there's a lot of Batman stuff that comes out pretty much every week. There's good Batman content and stories that
yeah,
come out. So I don't know. I don't get too hung up on the movies like some people do. I
yeah.
wasn't really expecting this movie to be good,
No,
honestly, 'cause I didn't really like Man of Steel.
yeah, I mean, directly when they announced, uh, first they said they said, oh, it's gonna be the sequel to Man of Steel,
Yeah,
and then they're like, and we're gonna add Batman in it. Okay, so he's gonna take up more space. I mean, it wasn't really a nice thing to do to Superman, in my opinion. I mean,
right.
but the problem is they need to show Batman before the Justice League.
Yeah, but it's got to make sense, and I think the way they look at it is they're behind the Marvel, and Marvel did this thing where they had all these different movies, and then they made the Avengers, and it all
Yeah,
worked out really well.
yeah,
So for them, it's like, well, we're behind the ball here, so we'll just jam Batman into the next Man of Steel, and then the
mm,
Justice League will come out, and I don't know, it's kind of a backward way of doing things. I think
yeah. Because
these things take a lot of planning,
yeah,
which is what Marvel did. And you got to give them credit, whether you like them, you love the movies or don't love them, whatever. They were able to execute something that's pretty crazy. You know, several movies that all tie together.
yeah. I
I mean,
mean,
it's an accomplishment. I don't think it's ever been done before.
yeah. I think Avengers. I mean, if you didn't, felt like if you didn't watch all the movies before the
Yeah,
Avengers, I felt you would missing out a lot, which
yeah, yeah,
is so
yeah.
the but that also comes with reviews that isn't that people didn't find it a good movie Avengers because people who didn't just oh my this is
They don't
hype
want
movie
the.
the Avengers is coming and then they just went straight and watched that and
Yeah, but you got to look at it. It's a sequel to several movies,
yeah
so it's like let me go see number four of whatever, and then I don't understand
yeah
what's going on. So this movie sucks. I mean, that's
yeah
not really a way you should approach things.
yeah
One thing that upset me about Ben Affleck, though, the Ben Affleck situation, is that some people were defending Ben Affleck,
yeah
and one of the things that they said, which kind of annoyed me, because I'm a big fan of
yeah
Daredevil, the character Daredevil, and the Daredevil movie was not very good, which starred Ben Affleck.
yeah
So there's a few people like on Twitter and stuff. They're going, "Oh well, that wasn't Ben Affleck's fault. The Daredevil sucked because Daredevil's a terrible character. He's a blind
no
a blind hero that carries a stick. He sucks, and that's why the movie sucked." But that's not really true. I mean, the movie wasn't very well written. Basically, what it
yeah
comes down to.
that was the biggest problem yeah I mean
So it seems
it
like
was so
Daredevil's getting thrown under
weird
the
built
bus.
that movie that is the thing I remember about Daredevil I just remember it being so weird the way storyline worked in that
The
one
first half of it's really good. You watch half that movie, you're like, this is
yeah
good, and then it just kind of falls apart.
yeah
I haven't seen it in a long time, but
I just remember it being weird so
Daredevil's a great character. There's a lot of great stories. I mean, the character's been around many, many decades. If the character sucked, it wouldn't, be this successful over 50 years.
yeah
So there's a lot of great stuff to pull from. They just didn't pull it off with that movie. And that's what I think. That's what it really comes down to with the Batman Superman thing. I think Ben Affleck could do Bruce Wayne. I think he could pull it off. He's been around. He's done a lot of different roles. It just comes down to what the script is, really.
yeah
If the script is terrible, it's going to make him look worse. If it's really good, he'll look better. And that's what it comes down to in the end.
like I posted my idea I would hope that he could have I know he's not written in to do anything like help the director or anything like that but I almost feel like I mean I don't really trust Zack Snyder to do a good job so I wouldn't mind if they somewhere they said okay this isn't good we sack him and get Ben Affleck to do the direct as well but
It'd be interesting, and I mean, even if it's terrible, Batman will survive because Batman
Yeah.
survived all kinds of bad movies before.
Mm.
So people
I
that are
think
like afraid that it's gonna destroy the character, destroy the franchise or something like that.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little older than some of you guys. I've seen some of the really terrible Batman stuff, and Batman makes it through. He always does because he's good. He's great, and he works in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And he'll be no matter what happens, he'll be okay, and he'll continue on.
Yeah.
There'll be about 75 Batman movies over the next 50 years. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's all about the reboot, but uh, I think DC is doing the right thing by trying to catch up with Marvel for the reason that I think this comic book big thing that is, I mean, everyone is doing stuff with
Right.
TV series or movies about
Yeah.
comic book stuff. It will, they will saturate it so much that it will end up people getting like, can we have something else than comic book movies and stuff? So
Yeah. I think the challenge for them, though, is they're behind. So
yeah,
when you get to Justice League, what year is that going to be? 2017, maybe?
yes,
And there'll already be two Avengers movies. There'll already be, who knows, several Thor movies, several Captain America, several
yeah,
Iron Man. So when you get to 2017, think about how far away that is. 2017. Are
yeah,
people going to be like, I already saw Avengers a bunch of times.
yeah,
I saw these other movies. Why do I care about Justice League now?
yeah,
And then, and again, their setup isn't going to be as strong. And I think they're going to do Flash before that too.
yeah. It's the year before, I think, 2016, and then
Okay.
Justice League is coming out 2017, I think.
Right. So if you get to that point, I don't know if the people are going to be tired of all this stuff by then. I
Yeah,
don't know.
true.
I don't know. Maybe they won't be. Maybe it'll be huge. But
Or maybe it works in their favor because there's so much Marvel stuff out there.
for
That's
the average person, they don't know the difference between them. They
yeah,
don't know
true.
like,
It's
oh, that's the
comic
Marvel.
books
This is DC. They
stuff.
go,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's comic book stuff anyway. So that's maybe what they think. I mean,
yeah,
one thing I thought was interesting is which movies that which superhero movie that got like the biggest kind of praises, and 4 was one of those movies that
yeah.
people really really loved.
I
Which
thought it
was
was good. I liked it. I wouldn't say it's like incredibly great.
no, but it attracted a lot of people that isn't into
Mm.
comic books
Right, right.
compared to the other movies that
Well, that one, like, I think a lot of people didn't expect it to be very good.
yeah
But then everyone was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty decent," and then that just made it seem a lot better than maybe it was in general. But
yeah
it was fun, man. The thing with the Marvel movies, like that they really pulled off, is a lot of diverse audience likes it.
yeah
So I could go to the movie with my girlfriend. She doesn't know a lot about the comics or anything like that. She knows
yeah
some stuff, but like I'm real into it. I like the movie. She
yeah
likes the movie too, and that's really an incredible thing to pull off. I think.
yeah yeah
Like my parents will go and watch them, and they'll like it too. It's like,
yeah
and then Jay will like it as well, and he's into the comics, so
yeah. But that's the
it's an
thing.
accomplishment.
Yeah, but you always have to think about if you take out the like superheroes, how good would it stand up? You want a good story.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter if you have like a strong character or not to promote to people or that people really know about. Just that if the
uh,
story is good behind it, then
right.
it will elevate it even more.
People want to go to the movies. They want to have some fun.
Yeah,
Want to see some fun things, and maybe a story that they could get into throughout the movie. Some sort of a question: what's going to happen to this guy? What's going on here?
yeah,
That's what makes things fun to watch.
yeah.
When things aren't fun, it's like when it's predictable, when you know what's going to happen. That's when you're bored because you just go, well, I already know what's going to go on. So
Yeah,
why
that's
do I care to watch this?
that was me when I got uh, Star Trek latest one. In the end, there.
Yeah, you
In the
feel like you
end,
knew what was going on.
yeah, end was so predictable. I was like, this,
The
this
only
ruined
time
it
that
a little bit.
I knew, like when they did the thing with the guy's blood, and it
Yeah.
brought back the what was it, like the space rats or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, I knew that was okay. There we go with that.
Yeah.
And they killed Kirk. It's like you're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I thought that movie was pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
You know.
The problem is it was so, they made it too obvious what they were going to do
Yeah.
with the movie. That was my biggest problem with it. Interesting thing is there
Yeah.
was a fan vote from Star Trek fans, and they voted it the worst movie of all time.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Uh,
I thought it was good. I liked it a lot. I think it might
yeah,
have been probably my maybe my favorite movie this summer.
yeah,
To be honest, I'm not a big Star Trek guy, but I just thought it had like it has brings you on that roller coaster ride. The characters are really fun.
yeah,
All of them, anytime any of them are interacting with each other, it's a fun time.
yeah,
The ending was a little much. I mean, you had like four different endings,
yeah,
false finishes. Like, oh, it's over. No, it's not. Here's some more.
yeah. You do that if you can pull it off.
Yeah,
You can do it. But if it's too obvious what you're going to do, then just gonna ruin the immersion, at least for me.
maybe I don't know enough about Star Trek. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys knew it was going to happen more than I did because I just don't know it as well.
I wasn't, not at least the first Star Trek. I watched the what's it called, first generation. Now next generation is it? I
Yeah, yeah.
used to
Professor
watch.
X.
Yeah, I used to watch that because it was a lot on TV when I was younger. So
Right.
it was when I was doing homework and stuff, always on. So that's how I watched. So I watched that one much more. So
Yeah.
yeah, best movie for me this summer is Now You See Me, which is about a group of magicians.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I wanted to see that. I will check it out when it comes
Yeah,
out on demand or whatever.
yeah,
But
you should
yeah,
really.
I didn't get to that. It looked
Yeah.
like it was a really good premise and stuff.
Yeah, it's just the cool factor is off the charts in that one, because when everything they pull off and try to pull off and everything, like, it's just everything is so cool. They make being a magician so extremely cool in that one, and just
Yeah.
I want to do that as well, but
I thought you
no,
could do that, Mark.
no, I'm no magician.
I thought you could do it.
Yeah, so yeah, one article I read yesterday I wanted to speak to you about in my neighboring country Denmark.
All right.
There was a football game, soccer for Americans, if you can understand that. So it was a match between Brøndby and Randers, and the game ended 0-0. And
Mm-hmm.
then one of I think it was the sports director for the team Brøndby, and he went back to the pitch a little bit after the game was ended and people had left. Well, he found a couple on the pitch having sex on it.
Well, where exactly were they?
It was middle on the pitch.
And there they are.
Yes.
Do we know like exactly what was happening? Who was
Uh,
on top? Do we know?
from the picture, it looked like the girl was on top.
All right. So then what happened then?
The funny thing about the whole thing is, I mean, the comments, the director, he was like, I was in a bad mood. Then I saw this and it raised my spirits. And the newspaper the day afterwards was like, at least someone got to score. And
Whoa.
another newspaper said, maybe this should be the halftime entertainment.
Right. Why not?
So I wanted to ask you, should we have people having like sex as halftime entertainment and stuff? Would it?
I don't think so. I just don't think it's very sanitary. You know, And it's like during halftime, you could always just go watch porn
Yeah.
on your own time. Because here's the thing, Mark. We're gonna have a live sex show during halftime. Well,
Yeah.
people like all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
People like all kinds of different scenarios and you know
So you have to
costumes and
have
things.
a lot of different scenarios on the
That's
pitch.
the thing. There's just too many. There's too many variables that people are gonna complain. Oh, I liked it, but I wish the chick looked like this or this happened in the thing. No one will ever agree. So just don't do it. If you want to watch porn during the halftime, do it on your own time. You look up whatever you specifically want for your sick mind. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think halftime shows are supposed to be terrible. I think they do it on purpose,
Yeah.
so it makes the game seem better.
Yeah.
Like here's the
That's the
terrible
thought.
halftime. Like get that shit off. Put the game back. This is so bad. You know. I
Yeah.
like the Super Bowl. I think that's done on purpose. People don't realize that halftime shows are bad on purpose.
Yeah. I don't think the like singers and stuff would want to agree with you there, but they're
Well, of
just
course they
getting
would.
paid. They're all
Of
about
course they
the
wouldn't
money.
agree with me. They're millionaires. What am I? What do I know? Well, that's my opinion. They have to take it.
Yeah. We
They're not
don't
very good.
we don't really have halftime entertainment here in Sweden that much.
There's no real need for it
Yeah.
because you go to the game, and then it's like, okay, here's like a half hour, 20 minutes, a half hour where everyone's resting. Go use the bathroom, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Talk to the person you came with maybe for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like people like constantly have to have some kind of entertainment at all times.
Yeah.
Sometimes nothing is entertaining enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Let's calm down here.
One thing I want to go back to when we talked about movies. I'm read books and stuff too, so or also listen to audiobooks. I want to see Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
The second one, and oh my god, I mean,
It's out already?
yes.
Okay, I didn't even know this.
I mean, I think the movie, if you take out the characters and know it's a book, it's probably a good movie.
Yeah.
And but I mean, they don't care about the book at any
Right, they threw it out the
stretch.
window.
Yeah, it's like they don't care about the core to it. They're
Yeah, I
just
really hate that.
making up their own story.
Yeah.
And I feel
really
like-
don't like that.
I think that's so disrespectful to
Hmm.
Rick Riordan, who created it in the first place. I mean, it's already a great story. And the thing that that gets me is if they stayed true to the story more, it would have been a better movie. That's the
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
part of it all. I mean,
Yeah.
the stuff that they change is worse for the worse.
I can't think of any movie where they changed the source material and they actually made it better.
Yeah,
And they actually
mean-
like improved on
yeah.
what they
I mean,
could have
I've-
done. It's really odd.
Some stuff you have to change to fit it in, but I mean,
You gotta cut stuff out, you gotta shorten it down, I
Yeah.
get that.
you just had to shorten it down. That's that's the primary thing they only had to do, but no, they couldn't. They just had to get their own storylines and
Right.
how they see the gods and stuff. We're gonna have our own version of this.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I also don't like when, things don't make sense.
Yeah. And
Which
like
happens
have
sometimes.
the bad guy be like crazy murdering instead of the intelligent person he is. No.
Oh, really? Okay.
Why have an awesome villain when you can have like one that tries to kill everyone when he sees them?
That's what they changed it to?
Yeah.
What the heck? Yeah, because it's easier to explain, Oh, this guy's crazy. He just kills everybody.
Yeah.
We don't have to do any kind of backstory on him. He's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I want to do stories and stuff, if I ever gotten like the chance to get it to be a movie or TV show or whatever, I would never let Hollywood get it. I would try and get like at least England or something like that at least have
Mm.
half of it, because I
Right.
know they stay true to the core of it all.
Yeah, yeah, they do. I have to agree.
I mean, look at Lord of the Rings.
Right.
It's a they try to stay. I mean, they don't invent like scenes in that one. Sure, they couldn't have in everything that they wanted, but I mean, they tried to stay as true to the book as possible, and
Mm.
many see that as one of the best movie series of all,
Yeah,
trilogy of
yeah, a
all
lot of people
time.
do. A lot of people do.
So
You know. Hey man, I don't know what goes on. It's they have all
yeah,
these people, these so-called these experts, and we have to do this and that, and
I honestly
I
think
don't
they
know.
just
I don't
have
know what
some
goes
sort
on.
of pie chart or whatever. Okay, we need this type of thing in it, this type of thing
Yeah,
in it, this type of
there's got to
thing
be a
in it.
romance story. There's got
Yeah,
to be some kind of giant creature. There's got to be, this has to happen. People are
yeah,
like this now, do that.
yeah. You understand the crazy.
They're not trying to make. A lot of times they're not trying to make art.
Yeah,
Some people out there trying to make art, but they're trying to just bank.
yeah,
And
but just watch the independent
yeah,
movies if you want more art style. Watch
right,
Sundance movies and that sort of.
right.
I think there's a lot of out there if you want that type of
Yeah, that goes for
int-
all. That goes for a lot of things.
movies.
Music and you just gotta dig a little deeper a lot of times to find the best stuff.
Yeah, it's a
Eventually, you'll
problem.
find.
It's there's a lot of movies that goes on missed that is much better than other
Yeah,
movies. That's the sad part of it.
that's what that's yeah, but like I said, like that's for everything, no matter what.
Yeah,
Usually, the things that are most popular, I don't know if they're the best thing. It's usually the thing that's most advertised. Usually, the thing that's
yeah,
easier to find. It's in front of you, but
yeah,
is the most popular thing usually the best thing? I don't know. It's only happened, I think, maybe a couple times in the history of pop culture. Maybe
yeah,
the Beatles. Maybe I'll give you that's about it. That was it. So
yeah.
there you go.
Stuff like the Beatles, and that kind of popularity
Indiana
will.
Jones and the Beatles. That's the only time the most popular thing was the best thing in the
Yeah.
history of the world.
Well, the problem is music is so extremely opinionated. Really,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that is hard to like make
Right.
everyone happy. But I mean, look at the Beatles, look at ABBA, look at some of these. They're really, I mean, the
ABBA.
right,
ABBA's from Sweden, right?
yeah. I mean,
I can
look at
play.
the
I know how to play some ABBA songs on the guitar. I don't know if you
nice,
knew that. I do.
yeah. But
Maybe someday I'll do it.
the thing about what's made those so great is like you had in the Beatles, you had John Lennon and Paul McCartney who wrote amazing songs every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is when I heard about they when they wanted a new song, they were like, we're gonna have lunch together, like where was it, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. They had like took lunch together, and they would always come out of that lunch with a song. So they
Yeah.
made like 70 songs that way,
Yeah. There you
and
go.
almost everyone was amazing, and that just blows my mind.
The thing
How
that
great.
was great, they had each other to push each other, compete with in some ways, and
Yeah,
and
and
that's what made it. That's what made it, I think.
I mean that is what made the Beatles how great the songs are. And you have ABBA. The reason their songs is so great is because Björn and Benny, both of them is incredibly genius people.
Right.
And they've kept on going. They're making like the Mamma Mia
Right.
musical and stuff like
That was
that.
big. That was a big hit.
Yeah, continuing to make stuff for everyone, and they're just really intelligent when it comes
And that's
to
the stuff that lasts.
songwriting.
That's the stuff that lasts for. That's gonna last forever. Those that stuff. Years and years later, people still love it.
Yeah,
I mean, for the last so long. I mean, who's I don't even know like with the top 10 albums right now. I have no idea. Is that stuff gonna be listened to in like 3 years from now? I don't
Uh,
know.
Absolutely not,
And a lot of
because
the stuff from when I was a kid in high school, none of that stuff
uh,
is no one cares, remembers any of it. This is stuff that sold millions of albums.
yeah,
But no one really cares about it. No, it was there for a moment and then it was flushed because it wasn't very good. And very few
yeah.
things can stand the test of time.
I think there are few stuff that really comes to my mind what I would remember from like 10 years ago. I like for me Eminem is a great like he's has great lyrics in his songs. You have I mean for many people Green Day is uh,
Yeah, Green Day's still around
yeah,
from the '90s.
yeah. I mean
There's a couple that
some
will stick
people
around.
had to like yeah, Bruce Springsteen will probably his stuff probably will stand a bit of time. I mean, it's
Yeah,
getting fewer and fewer because the problem is that they're so time constrained and they have to have have it done in a certain amount of time to get the
yeah.
album out, and then half of the songs is going to be crap, and that's just the way sort of like how it works at least.
Well, the music biz is so different because
Yeah,
like we used to have these huge, from like Michael Jackson from like that time.
yeah,
You'd have like one thing that was just insane,
yeah,
would sell so many albums and it would be everywhere. Every time
yeah,
it was kind of annoying, honestly, if you didn't like the music.
yeah,
But it was you turn on the radio, it was there. MTV, it was playing.
yeah.
Now you don't really have anything that just hits that huge anymore because people aren't locked into anything.
I think there's still a lot of things that turn huge quickly. It depends on what audience you're aiming for. I mean, how quickly didn't like Bieber and One Direction and those things? They turn like popular and extremely popular quickly.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
but that
think
stuff it burns out.
yeah,
Their hourglass is running thin. I think.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at, I mean, especially boy bands and stuff like, look at Backstreet Boys and those kinds of
Yeah, that stuff burns
NSYNC
out.
and
Yeah.
all of that. I mean, nobody who listens to them anymore. So,
Yeah, I mean, as you go further in time, like, no, it's going to be less and less. Like 10 years, no one really goes, "Oh, I'll listen to that Backstreet Boys now."
yeah,
It's only been 10 years, whatever. I mean, and they saw how many millions of albums they saw.
yeah. But the thing is, now it's so much easier to get noticed. I
You
mean,
think so?
yeah, I think having the uh, like everything that's out there, the internet, and if you promote yourself smart, you
You have a
can,
chance.
yeah. I
Uh,
think it's not even that much about if you're just good band and you
uh,
have a lot of personality and show that in videos and stuff, you're gonna probably get big because I mean,
you would think, but I think the other side of it though is just so many. There's so many people out there that you kind of get lost in the shuffle of it
yeah,
because you're not. It's Yeah, I think back then it was real hard because you had to find someone had to find you and sign you and then
yeah,
promote you in some way. But now it's like okay, I can do it myself, but you know what? There's 10 million other people doing it as well.
yeah,
So you have to try to kind of dig yourself out of that. You
yeah.
know.
But I think still there are a lot of ways that you can. Um, uh, Nowadays, you don't really. You're starting to need the agents and the
Mm.
music companies less and less. I mean, Alex Day, who is on YouTube, he's on has himself as his became big as a vlogger
Right.
because he wanted to promote really his personality and do videos like that, and then he continually made his music that he made in the beginning, and he managed to get fourth on the Christmas chart in UK.
Wow.
Self.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a lot of that going on, man.
so I think, and also Adele isn't in a major music company either. She's
Okay.
in a smaller one, and she has been becoming bigger and bigger. So I think they're slowly getting off the clutches of the music companies, but I mean, they're gonna
Hmm.
do all in their power to keep it
Yeah.
that way. If they need
Well,
to censor
yeah.
the internet, they're gonna try and censor the internet for.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
it's it's tough business.
yeah,
It really is. Anybody that's involved in that, I give a lot of credit to.
yeah.
And
You have to. It must be hard to find really your part in it all. You have to have something unique to stand out. Unless you have like an amazing voice, it's not gonna be easy to.
sometimes if you're too unique though, then you're kind of locked out. It's
How?
whatever people are looking for at the
It
time.
depends on what kind of uniqueness you have. Is it
Right.
really?
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. That's right.
So
So what else we got, Mark?
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. Uh,
What do we
have
got,
you any
man?
time to play games now that you're doing
No,
all?
it's only gonna get worse, man.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I played so many games over my life that it seems like it's kind of like maybe it's kind of a different era now for me.
Mm.
I played so much stuff my entire life, and to the point where I was competing in games, and I used to do all the new releases and everything. I have boxes and boxes of games,
Yeah.
and I think there'll be a time I get back to it. I have a list I maintain of like stuff I want to play that I haven't been able to play.
Yeah. I always got limited by the fact that I didn't have money to buy every
Yeah,
release, so I had to be more thoughtful of what I bought when it comes to games.
I mean I played
So,
so many games. Like I did, like I look back at it, like I did damage to myself. I played so many games. Yeah, so often I was like, man, I could have been working some a couple different another job or doing this or that, but I was just playing the games. And
well, you
it
have
was
to
a good
do
time. It was a good time.
what you find fun.
Yeah, maybe that's what I had to do at the time. I don't know. Why
Yeah,
not?
because I play games most of the time because I find it really fun, and I when I see back on when I wanted to become a like try and become a football player like that, was I realized quite quickly that since found games almost more fun than just playing football,
Uh huh.
it kind of like if I don't have the motivation and find it more fun than video game, I don't think I'm gonna last to become a professional player. And
Right.
so yeah, so I just
Yeah, I mean, it's
began.
think about life. Life's a window. It's you only have so much time,
Yeah,
and you gotta kind of fill the time up with things what you think is best to do. So right now, like I feel like I got other stuff to do,
yeah,
and then if I do the stuff I gotta do now, maybe later on I can. Hey, I got free time now to play games.
yeah,
And that'd be a nice reward.
yeah. You should take when you should take a break soon from Snowman Hole Punch to get your
Life together. Yes.
yeah, and also like get some perspective on it. Let it be out there for a
Yeah, it's
while, and
gonna. We're
then you
definitely
watch
gonna.
it again, and then you get
Yeah.
new ideas. You get
Right.
like other
It's definitely
stuff.
gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, now we stop. For I don't know how long, but
Yeah,
whatever that is, and then yeah, look back, and I can even do some stuff with it. I
yeah,
wanted one thing I want to do is go back to the older footage, kind of maybe not go George Lucas style on it, but
yeah,
fix re-edit some stuff, and maybe put it out again or make a DVD or something, and then
yeah,
maybe talk to some people about it because I think The
Yeah.
people that everyone that watches it really likes it.
Yeah.
The problem has never been people not liking it when they see it. You know,
Yeah.
everyone that watches it really enjoys it. I think it's only gonna get better from here. The stuff that's coming out next.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to try to, I don't know, do something with it.
Mm.
Show it to somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. I still
And
I still
see.
think you should try for that web in LA.
Maybe there'll be a yeah. There's gonna be a point where I could go. Okay, now we have the finished thing. So
Yeah.
what do we do now? Let's try to
And
do some of
also,
that. Yeah.
I would recommend trying to approach Geek and Sundry because they're really much about like comic style video games,
Yeah.
that
And
sort of
maybe.
thing. I think maybe they could accept you. I hope they would because I think they're gonna get bigger and bigger, and it would think your content would they would like it. At least that's what I get take from it.
Maybe. I don't know. There's no guarantees. You know, it's I don't really think about it. I just make it the best I can. And what happens after that, I guess I have no control over. But
I think
I could control what it is. I could control what we make, and that's what I focus on. So
yeah, you're really great at making it good with a limited budget you
yeah,
have.
it's even worse than you think too. If you ever saw us film, you'd be amazed at how it's thrown together. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
yeah I would like.
it's
I
a miracle
always
that it exists in the first place. It's a miracle that it's even watchable. Honestly,
yeah,
like it's I don't know.
yeah.
It's a miracle that it even exists. Let's just say that.
Yeah, because I want to like do more, like film more and stuff here in Sweden,
Yeah,
but I don't. I have the problem of not having a
a
few
crew.
people I could have as help to do this
Well,
sort of stuff. That's the I could just film more stuff, just me in it, but it's going to get harder and harder to.
yeah. Uh, I would just I would just film even if you never put it out. I would just film things just to get good with editing and good with like
Yeah,
filming
but
filming
that's
angles and
not a concern for me.
all right, you got
I
that.
did it for 3 years, so that's
All right.
not my concern. It's just
Well, I think if you
it's
want to
kind of
do it,
hard.
just find a way. You treat, I don't know. Some of the people we found through Craigslist or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's tough, man. It's tough to find locations. It's tough to find people.
yeah, and also I have the like I don't know if I want to do if I should do it in Swedish or not because it feels kind of weird to do it in English when you're only
Yeah, yeah.
Sweden. That's the
You don't know. You gotta do both.
yeah. At the same time, one talking
Both.
Swedish, one talking English, and have a great story with these two people, Swedish and English person,
That'd be
getting to.
interesting.
It would. You just
I
have
don't
to
know,
get
man.
an
If you feel
English
you gotta,
person
if you
here.
feel like doing, it, you just gotta figure out a way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm in no rush. I'm trying to work on my stories that I'm gonna write
Writing.
instead and do.
Yeah, I think one of the things I want to try to focus on later on is like more writing and because I wrote a lot of this stuff like a year ago,
Yeah,
and then I can't write anymore because I spent all the time editing this, the stuff from last year.
yeah,
So I mean, film is a lot of work, man.
yeah.
It's an incredible amount of work.
That's yeah. I couldn't agree with you
Writing,
more.
it's just writing. You just kind of you write. That's it.
Yeah,
Go back, maybe you see if you spelled things wrong. But
yeah. The thing about writing is you need to have it. If you write something longer, you not need to have it sit for a while. In my
yeah,
opinion,
yeah,
like do something else or start writing something else and just let
right.
that story be for
Oh
a
yeah.
while.
There's days where I go back to the stuff I wrote and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking at this
Yeah,
point? sometimes we'll even film like this past week when we filmed some stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Why did I do this?
yeah,
And I just threw it out, you know.
yeah,
But you never really know until you look at it, think about it, see it in context of what it's supposed to be.
yeah.
So that happens.
I mean, when you have scripts and that sort of stuff, you always write the script, but you
Hmm.
always know that it's going to be changed a lot
Right.
later on. Because, for instance, I wrote a script for submitted it to like Nickel Fellowship, the People Academy.
Hmm.
They have like a script writing contest every year. So I wrote a script to that, and I just got it finished like the day before the last day of submittance. But
Right.
I shouldn't really have done it, because when I read it like 2-3 months later, I said,
You're like,
"Oh
oh
my God,
man.
this is half of it is crap or something." I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
it didn't really, the whole movie didn't like work and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's definitely a process.
yeah,
You gotta really love it, and you gotta really you gotta be doing it for the right reasons. And if you're writing something, you're like, this has got in your back of your mind, like this has got to be great.
mm,
This is it's gonna suck because you're putting that pressure on yourself.
yeah,
This has got to be amazing.
yeah,
I gotta come up with something that no one's ever done before right now.
yeah.
It's gonna make me $1 million. It's gonna be terrible. You gotta.
Yes, the thing I usually just aim for is like hope to get at least 3-4 couple of scenes that oh, those scenes are great.
Mm,
I mean, just aim to have a couple of scenes, because the rest of it, have a story, then you're gonna just change most of it later on. So,
oh yeah.
because I have one of the things in that movie script is really, really amazing, and I just wish I could make the rest of the movie that great as well. I mean, or at least a bit of it
Mm.
good, because I made that part of it really, really good, and would want
You want to see the whole thing. You
yeah,
need the rest of it.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, hey man, try to make it somehow. I don't know. Let's work on it.
yeah. I have to go back to it some
Do it.
day.
Do it today, Mark.
No, not today. I have so much stuff I need to.
Don't do any of that stuff. Screw that stuff.
Well, it's stuff that I want to get out.
Oh, okay. I see.
It's the dwarf Rambosh and his first introduction story, I think.
You
I
read
want
that
to
thing? That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So I want to get hopefully the first part of it. If I can record everything today, that would be great. I
Yeah.
have some other stuff I need to record
Hey man,
as well.
the first step is trying,
Yeah.
doing, and that's what you're doing. So
Yeah, I mean, uh, Crowncast has helped me a lot, because it's the first thing that really have caught on by many of the other Rambotian to watch. I
yeah,
mean, everyone else is doing games and everything. Finding stuff that be entertaining for the
yeah.
Rambotian audience, and ev- podcast seems to do the job for it. So
There you go.
it's a great platform for the rest of the.
I don't
film
even know. I
fan-
don't even
fan.
know what people like on YouTube. Really, I mean, it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
You'll see stuff that's low views, but it's good. And these other stuff's millions, and it's questionable at best.
yeah. But
And it's like I don't know. I mean, it's so
YouTube is
bizarre.
much about personality. It's almost everything about personality,
People
unless
follow.
you do
People will watch
like
anything.
high-end production. If you do a
Uh,
high-end production, then people eventually gonna come. But I mean, it's mostly personality based.
right, you subscribe to the person.
Yeah,
Whatever they make, I'll watch. I like them or whatever.
yeah,
Or I hate them and I'll watch because I hate them or whatever.
yeah,
Whatever the reason is.
yeah. Some people just want to hate on people.
Well, yeah,
funny
that's how it
life.
goes. That's what gets them going. Let them have their fun.
Yeah, I would want to, as said before on my podcast, I would want to work out of something like YouTube or writing or something like this. This is why I put most of my effort into everything I do on YouTube now,
Yeah,
because I mean, I try to look for jobs and stuff, but it isn't the easiest because the sectors I have gotten experience in, they're either dead or I need more education in it. So
right.
I'm like problematic point right now. So that's why I just try to search for jobs, but in the meantime I'm just gonna go full into YouTube and writing and all stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could tell you how to do it. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but
Yeah,
yeah, you just gotta do what you think is right.
yeah,
And I think you're on the right tracks. Keep making stuff. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not stopping anytime soon. So,
yeah. You have to know that it's in for the long haul. You don't get
oh
big
yeah,
in unless you come up with something brilliant. But
yeah,
it's hard to execute and get the brilliance right, because I have a few ideas that could, if they're executed correctly, go like viral, but it's execution is the hardest part for me.
well, it goes back to our earlier conversation because, like I said, a lot of stuff that's real popular. A lot of times isn't that great. So a lot of stuff that goes viral isn't really great. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
So maybe that's not really what you want.
yeah, but if you don't execute the at least the point of it all, and it's for instance, if it's going to be a sort of comedy thing, if you
Uh huh.
don't get the humor out there, nobody's gonna watch it. That's the
Right.
because for instance, I have with I had a couple of great ideas with for instance, doing something with Assassin's Creed 3 when that game was out, because uh, they had some annoying like orphans who's just
Right.
following you around and being so fucking annoying. I was going to do something like a story thing um, where he jumped off a cliff and committed suicide or something after a while because he couldn't take all of. I mean, but the thing is, I couldn't be able to execute it to be funny. So that's why I scrapped that. And I also have a great idea for a FIFA uh, sketch video, but also it's yeah. For me, it's the execution part that's I can come up with great ideas and great
Yeah.
sort of stuff. A few things that I mean that worked out really great. It was the intro I made for you.
Right.
That's one of the few things that actually been executed as I wanted it to be.
Yeah. That was fun stuff.
So the other intro, is it a possibility if we it ever reaching to be an intro on the show?
Yeah, I think so. I gotta kind of stop making so many myself. I kind of realized.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna be definitely using a lot of. You guys are making a lot now. I'm starting to get a lot sent
yeah,
to me. So I need to definitely pull back with that. I did. I don't know how many in a row where I
yeah,
just hours and hours and hours to make a 2 minute intro. So something I gotta learn to pull back on certain things because it's just I get burnt out.
yeah.
And there's usually like one day a week where it's just like I can't get up.
Wow.
But yeah, so I'm trying to learn how to pace myself a little bit better, and that I have this past year, and it's sad because I only got two shows, made a whole bunch of videos out of it, and
Yeah,
well, that's the way it is, man.
yeah.
wouldn't have any other way. So
Yeah. But you're soon can take a break from Snowsman and get
well, we
batteries
got a
up there,
little further to go.
Yeah. So
We got another couple months probably of it, but we'll get in there. Hopefully I'm hoping in 2013 is that we finish it up.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Would be
Mark, man, I gotta get going, sir.
Yeah.
Gotta get going. Take us home.
Thank you for coming on. You can find Mr. John Rambo at John Rambo Presents and Super John Rambo on the Twitter, and stayballsy.com for great stuff. And you can find my Twitter at Markron Story. And yeah, it's fun as
hopefully
usual.
soon we're gonna have Mark's podcast on the Stay Ballsy site soon. I think I'm trying to figure it out how to implement it the best way.
Yeah.
I need to I don't know, I need some coding.
Yeah.
And stuff, but
you have to learn everything.
That soon. Gotta learn everything.
Yeah.
Gotta learn it all.
So thanks guys for listening, and we see you Thursday probably.
And the show is tomorrow.
Yes.
Mr. Ed Trotta as my co-host, 'cause OJ's not around.
Oh.
So Mr. Ed Trotta will be there for the whole show.
Oh, nice. Where's OJ?
He's going to PAX Prime in Seattle.
Seattle.
Yes. He decided last minute to go, so he's leaving, I think, tomorrow. And I'll be over there at his place later tonight. I'm going to work right now.
Maybe doesn't Doug live in Seattle?
Yeah, I gotta let Doug know. I don't think OJ told anyone. So,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to work right now. Then I'm after work. I'm driving an hour to OJ's. And we're gonna film something for the show 100.
Okay.
We're still finishing up that what we're doing with that, and that's next week. So,
yeah.
There you go. Keep on moving, man.
Yes. So, thanks you guys for listening, and I will see you soon. Bye.
All right.